Hello my wicked people. Today's shave is going to be as Canadian as it can be, so I'll do my best with sterling almond cream, and for rest of the gear I will use Razor silver tip shaving brush and the real Canadian razor AL13 from Henson Shaving. So I did made one video this week, but I thought that maybe my verbal presentation was not appropriate for the YouTube, so I decided to tune down my voice a little bit. As you know, the Valentines are almost around the corner. I soaked a little bit of water because I didn't use sterling soap like for ages. And when I mentioned the Valentines, I thought that maybe some wet shaving stores would offer some discounts. And I stumbled upon some very interesting findings on AliExpress. Like, you can get a replica of Merkur Progress for like I think it was between 3 and 5 euros. But what disturbed my feelings a little bit was the fact that our Asian friends started to copy some razors. Yeah, it's not a new thing. But right now they're not even, let's say, discreet about it. So I noticed the copy of Henson AL13, which is shamelessly labeled as Canadian razor. Can you imagine? So this is the first part of equation. I think it is also packed in something which resembles the Henson box, although if you bought the original Henson razor, you know what is the packaging. So that was my first alert. And although they are now having this Valentine's Love Week or something like that discount, and it is priced at about 35 bucks, but normally they would ask closely to 50 or even 60 bucks for a copy of this razor. So I will put my voice a little bit down for the moment, and I will leave you the choice to Google a little bit to see what I'm talking about, and of course to decide how are you going to spend your money. To be honest with you, as always, I did found a lot of great purchasings on the AliExpress. Some very good travel razors for like $2. A lot of great brushes, and also the shaving brushes. But I wasn't expecting to find something which is labeled as Canadian razor or Mula Roca or, you know, that sort of marketing. So it's almost like we are taking piggyback riding from the reputable companies who are building the parts for spacecraft equipment using the premium materials and everything. So I decided to recall a little bit from this razor, and this is the version 1 of AL13. Also, it is the mildest version, paired with Willys blades. And since I do not have any evidences that there is some silent agreements between major companies and Chinese outsourcers, I will try to restrain myself from commenting anything beyond this point. But as much as some other companies are using, let's say, 89 style of razor heads, some twist to open designs which are pretty, unique and standardized, they're still not trying to emulate this, they're not saying this is Edwin Jagger or this is British shaver. But with this new approach, somehow it started to itch me where it shouldn't. So if you're improving design, like DS Cosmetics did with Game Changers, of course, provide a new brush, make some other improvements, maybe style your top cap differently, just so we as a buyers have the opportunity to see is it worthy. Like for Game Changers, they are pretty expensive in Europe due to overseas shipping, and my DSS9 cost maybe about 30-35 euros, so I would say it is a bargain. But imagine if the DSS9 cost like 80 bucks, like the real Game Changer, so I probably wouldn't buy it at all. And I must say that at least for the Henson razor, which is the most engineered razor probably on the market, not only within my collection, I somehow feel that it is pretty unfair to just copy it, because Henson Shaving really put a lot of effort. They deployed pretty, let's say, not a razor intended to be used machinings. I guess that many other manufacturers are using even the stainless steel molds for their razors, maybe some regular CNC machines, but what came to design of this razor was pretty much an overkill for a razor. And I doubt that there are companies who can actually emulate this on exact same level, but obviously they are still cocky enough to provide you the very same price. So I don't know about you and what is your feeling for this, but I guess that up to a certain point, price wise, I really want to invest in something which is coming from a real source, For razors which are $10-20, you can always take it, try it, see if you like them. But up to a certain point, it should better be the very best of designs, and I don't know. I think that things are going a little bit out of hand. But it's up to you. Now, quite honestly, I really cannot figure out the reason why I'm not using Henson more frequently. I guess it is not so exciting for me. It is excellent razor for daily shaves, for longer stubble, always perfectly rinsing, as you can see, with these large, not only the large blade channels, but also with the curvature, if you can see on this portion. So it is really enhancing the flow of the leather and whiskers. So I never clogged AL13, and I carried it away on lots of travels where I don't know what will be the situation with the bathroom. Is local water going to be hard or soft? How is it going to work with my shaving soaps or creams? So for that cause, the Henson razor is a real, let's say, dummy-proof piece of machine, because you can check on their website for the exact numbering, but I think it is about 10,000 of an inch blade protrusion. So you don't need to wiggle it, you don't need to find the correct angle, no need to adjust it. You just lay it flat on your skin and the blade is exposed just enough to make the cut. But not enough to make some skin damage. I started to hiccup a little bit, almost as somebody on AliExpress is anticipating this sort of complaints, but now this is a very light razor, so sometimes I do have an urge to press it a little bit, you know, just to feel it on the skin a little bit more. And compared to my regular shave routine, I'm definitely making a little bit more strokes, because the blade is very rigid, and if some whiskers are not caught on the first run, you will have that need for a little buffing. But in overall, I think this is the mildest razor which I have, which also provides me the closest shaves. So I cannot explain it in a better way. Maybe the more aggressive versions of Henson razor would allow a little bit faster pass. But who needs a speed shaves? We have R41 for that. And it also has a lot of sound feedback, so it is always grabbing and cutting, and this is real BBS without even trying, so really super efficient. So I guess that for most cases, and especially for my videos, I don't see that I'm actually giving you some good advices with AL13, so it's basically use it and forget it. Nothing to tell you about, nothing to share in form of advice. So basically, the only thing is to make a decision and spend a little bit more bucks on it. But for everything else, it is super efficient, super mild. Okay, it's now covered with a little bit of stretching. But yeah, not a single weeper, not the tiniest mistake with this shave. So beautiful piece of equipment. I will just disassemble it so you can see. So the threading is very precisely made, so there is no wiggling, no free movements. There is a tungsten bushing, so you do not need to put that plastic rings to cover it. As you can see, the wheel is played, lot 11, and there is one plus over here. I hope it will be visible. So this is the mildest one. It goes from 1 to 3 pluses. Okay, let's not cut the fingers. On the bottom part, rectangular pins, very good for securing the blade. Fits perfectly, no wiggling. Roca has, for example, a little bit more space, but it comes all together when it's tightened. The Henson, try hearing something. So basically I'm trying to wiggle it, but it's not moving at all. And you see how the thread goes perfectly. So no sounds whatsoever. Perfectly designed razor. A little bit boring, but sometimes we do like boring stuff. Now let's clean some soapy leftovers. When it comes to post-shave feel, I would say this is somewhere in between of R89's preservation of the skin. I always mention that somehow R89, even Mercure Progress, are driving the blade away from the face, so it's never digging into the skin. In that terms, Henson behaves the same. Maybe I feel it a little bit closer, you know. No stinging, no burning. Maybe the sensation is that it took a little bit off the first layer of the skin, you know, so maybe the final conclusion would be R89's comfort with a deep open combs exfoliation effect. For everything else, I don't know. Should I try copy for 30-50 bucks or buy the real one for 60 or 70? For me, there is no doubt. I hope you like this Friday's video. Maybe we will have a little bit more discussions on soaps, because I'm still owning you that comparison. In the meantime, I wish you happy weekend, lots of free spare time. Enjoy it with your family, friends, take rest, and stay tuned to Wicked-Whiskers.